Hi, I'm Steph from Passbolt. I'm here to introduce a new feature called Encrypted Metadata, available since Passbolt version 5.1. But first, to understand what it is, let's take a moment to define metadata. For example, on this resource, you can see it's made up of two secrets, a password and a TOTP. The other elements like the name, username and URI are the metadata of the resource. The secret part has always been encrypted. However, that wasn't the case for the metadata until now. With this new version, administrators can now choose to encrypt metadata too. To do that, we've added 4 new screens under the organization settings. Let's explore them. The first screen is Allow Content Types. Here you can decide which types of content users are allowed to manage in your instance. For example, you might want to disable TOTP or allow only TOTP. The screen is split into 2 sections. At the top, content types with encrypted metadata. At the bottom, content types using the old metadata format. This lets you tell what's available to your users. Over time, this screen will become even more important as more content types are introduced. The second screen is Encrypted Metadata. This is where you can enable or disable metadata encryption and choose whether it should be on by default. For example, you might want to test the feature first before fully adopting it. In my case, I'll enable metadata encryption by default. The third screen is Metadata Key. For metadata encryption to work, a key needs to be generated. This key is used to encrypt metadata under specific conditions. For private resources, metadata is encrypted with the user's key. But for shared resources, it's this metadata key that's used. You can also choose to always use the metadata key, whether the resource is private or not. But keep in mind, this key only encrypts the metadata, not the secrets. In my case, I'll go with the recommended configuration. Also, notice that I've already generated a metadata key here, so I don't have to do it again. The fourth screen is Migrate Metadata. If you already have a lot of resources, asking users to migrate each one manually will be tedious. This screen simplifies that process. You can run a bulk migration to convert metadata to the encrypted format. You can choose to migrate only shared resources or all resources, included private ones. Note that for now, the browser extension only supports metadata migration for resources. In the future, migration options for folders, comments, and tags will also be available. For this demo, I'll go ahead and run the full migration. And that's it. All the resource metadata is now encrypted in the database. Let's return to the resource workspace. As you can see, the user experience remains the same. The browser extension automatically decrypts metadata for display. Since I've enabled metadata encryption by default but still allow resources using all metadata, I now have a new option in the creation menu. By default, password and TOTP will create resources with encrypted metadata because of the setting I chose earlier. But with the Others option, I can choose from all available content types in my instance. This lets me explicitly choose whether I want the encrypted or legacy version for each resource. And over time, this menu will expand as more content types become available. And that's it. That was a quick tour of encrypted metadata and how to configure it in Passbolt. Enjoy and see you next time.